Hi friends, this is Anna with Scrapping, Stamping, and Stuff. I'm here today to share with you how to make a really simple card. And we're going to use the Well Said stamp set. This stamp set is full of every greeting you could ever need for just about anything. So that's the stamp set we're going to use. And what we will do, all we need for these cards is a card base, a piece of designer paper that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. We will cut that down into 4 different pieces here to attach on. And we're going to use a little strip of white for our greeting. So, like I said, we need some designer paper, but your other option is to create your designer image yourself. So this one I used a piece of paper from the Peony Pack. This one I took a piece of 3 inch by 4 inch white cardstock and I stamped on it using our Celebrate Sunflowers stamp set, an absolute favorite in this catalog. So I'll show you how to make this, and it is very quick and easy, so it won't take much time at all. Here I have my white card base. It measures 5.5 by 8.5, and I cut it in half, folded it in half. Now here I have my 3 inch by 4 inch designer paper from the Whale of a Time paper pack, and I cut it into 1 inch strips. So after you do that, you need to make sure that you piece it back together in the right order. This may or may not be tricky depending on what your design looks like to get it back in order. Once it is in order, I'm going to flip them all over just like that. And I want to pop these up. You could attach these with regular adhesive if you want to, but I want to use some dimensionals. So I'll put 2 on the back of each one. After you do that, you need to place them approximately where they will go on your card so that you have an idea of where they need to be placed. I left mine flipped over this way. If you wanted to turn them over the other way, you can. So that looks pretty good. And now we just need to attach them one by one. So these are really simple cards you could do for anything. You could use any of our designer papers. You could create images using any of our stamp sets for any occasion. And you could make up a ton of these in just a few minutes. So when you start attaching your paper strips, I had better luck when I left a little bit larger gap on my first one, this one right here. I left a real small gap, and then when I was trying to attach the next one, I had a hard time matching that very small gap. So I think if you leave a little bit larger gap, gives you a little bit more wiggle room that they don't have to look so exact and look like they have the same spacing. This reminds me of Finding Nemo. I love that movie. This paper pack is so neat. It has the turtles and the whales and underwater scenes, all kinds of neat things. So there we have the panels on there for this panel card. And now we will use a small white strip. I always end up with lots of these left over. When I cut my card front pieces, I end up with these little strips that I haven't used. And I have Pacific Point cardstock. And I thought this one would be a good birthday card for a child. So I'm going to use the Hooray stamp. Stamp that right on there. Now that's a little lower than I would like on this piece. And you know what? That is why cardstock has 2 sides. That side looks like it has a finger smudge, so I'll flip it around. Try to get that up a little higher. And it's not really, so let's try that again. There we go. So I'll trim that one off. And trim this one off as well. And this I am just going to attach with a little bit of glue, rather than try and put some seal right there in that little piece. So I think I'll put it up here so it doesn't cover up those adorable turtles. And there you go. That is how to make a really simple panel card that only takes a few minutes. Hope you enjoyed this simple stamping video. I hope you will join in again next time. Have a great day, everyone.